Yes, this is the man GN, and I'm back with another segment of the full body restoration on this 39 Chevy Coupe. Now, in this segment, it's all about priming and block sanding. So now let's get into it. Now, before we get to the primer, every panel have to be block sanded. And what you see here, I got polyester, and you see the little patches. Those are various little imperfection that I touched out with more polyester. As you see, I proceed to block sand them down with an onboard sander. I got the doors back off the car, ready for first stage of primer. As you notice, green throughout certain areas of the panel. That's etching primer. I use the etching primer because this is a straight 2K, not a DTM. Therefore, I gave the all metal surface that showing that extra level of protection. Each primer protects it from rusted metal. If the paint were to get scratched all the way down to the metal, each primer will protect it from rusting very fast. You know, some car get a scratch down to the metal, right in that scratch will start rusting very fast. So now, what I do with particular vehicles when I do restoration like this, I like to do 3 stages of priming. The first stage that I do, that helps me to, when I'm priming it, I can see the panel. I can see the levelness, or if there's any imperfection in the primer, any waves or anything, I'll be able to see it as I'm priming. First stage, I'll hit with a 100, then a 180. And I'll come back with another stage of priming, which now that stage, and in the first stage, whatever shows up, any high or low spots, any imperfection, anything I find, I will correct it. And I'll come back with the second stage, which now that stage, I'll be able to use 180 on that stage, because I'll paint, I will now apply this primer. The mixture now is key. Mixture is key. I will apply that primer a little bit more smoother than the first stage. That's what I mentioned. That first stage I will mix that to apply a little rough. That way I can be able to cut into it. 100, then a 180. In the second stage, I'll mix it a little bit more smoother. Apply that now. I can hit that with 180. Now I have to do 100. But you see, I'm in the midst right now of hitting it with a 180. In my last stage now, I will hit that with sand that with a 400 and a 600 on top of that 400. Start out with a 400, and I'll finish up with a 600. Will ensure a smooth substrate on each and every panel, silky smooth. Now that will ensure that the top coats lay out like glass, lay out like water over a sheet of glass. Like if you pour water over a sheet of glass, that's how the top coat should lay out. And then now you apply the clear coat as smooth as can be. And after color sanding and polishing that up, everything will look like glass. You get that mirror like shine, no matter how cheap the clear is. But remember, cheap clear will dull out after a period of time. Cheap clear will constantly dull out. You have to keep polishing it until you get down to the paint. Just want to throw that in there. So be aware of the clear you get. They're all going to shine in the beginning, but the most expensive one will give a deeper shine. Just be aware of that. But all clear will shine once completed. Once polished, you'll get that shine. But you'll notice the deep mirror-like shine from the more expensive clears. But just to throw that in there, that all clear will shine, but that cheap clear will dull out after a period of time. just get what you pay for. And that's just simple it. Now this style, I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it the triple option. Base facing. Face for the base. This technique is from my portfolio of what I've experienced over years of painting and doing restoration. And this technique is totally different from what you do on a conventional car. Conventional car with a dent or scratch in panels, that would require one application of primer, which is consists of 2 to 4 coats, and then you have your choice of block sanding it down with a block, or wet sanding it down, or a DA with a 332 dual action as well, with some 600 dry or 800 dry, depending on the roughness of the primer. So therefore, this technique I only use on builds and restoration projects. Now, those jobs require paint to be removed on the entire panel, especially restoration. Not so much the build. It all depends with the build. If it's a wide body being added to the car, then those areas, all the paint will be removed, and then filler prior to the entire panel, which will call for primer to be applied to the entire panel. Therefore, my first layer of primer in those situations is like a guide coat. Some guys use that powder guide coat, and some use aerosol. I use neither of both because I can see what's going on with the panel when I'm applying that first stage of primer. Okay, now this has concluded the end of this video, and if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and also while you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button as well. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more to come, a lot more content to come on this channel.